Welcome everybody back to Real Talk. We have another one of our real exclusive agents, Sherrie Kuroda, in the house. Thank you so much, Sherrie, for just coming all this way to educate us about Hawaii Kai.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, so when we think about Hawaii Kai, I mean, I'm always thinking, even when I drive to work, because I work in Kahala, but if I were to just go a little bit further down on my commute along the H1, along Kalanianiole Highway, you enter this beautiful just place that is one of the most desired places to live in Hawaii, Hawaii Kai. Mm-hmm. And Sherrie, from what we know, you're one of the experts when it comes to being able to share about all that Hawaii Kai has to offer. But can you just enlighten us with a little bit of just history and how did Hawaii Kai just come to be?
Well, Hawaii Kai actually is a lot bigger than most people think. It covers 521 acres. And back in the 50s, Henry Kaiser, who helped develop the area, got together, and it was just wetlands, swamplands back then. And he got together with Bishop Estate, Kamehameha Schools, and said, hey, I would like to build this master planned community, Hawaii Kai. And so they got together, and it ended up being, can you believe this, 7,400 homes, wow, single family homes. Yeah. And 4,000 condos. That includes townhomes. So, I mean, it is a very, very big part. Takes up the whole eastern half, really, of the island of Oahu. And it also includes Kalama Valley, which is over, so that entire area is Hawaii Kai.
Yeah, I think most people don't realize how vast it is, right? Because maybe they might just consider, a little bit, maybe it's after Nui Valley, after Ainhaina, you have this portion, but it's a lot more expansive than it really seems, right?
Yeah, it is. So, I always think of Hawaii Kai, I sort of separate it into three areas. You've got on the water, okay, and then you've got off the water properties, and then you also have marina properties. Now, keeping in mind, even if you're in an area that is has water view homes or you're on the water, you still have off water homes. One of the nicest areas on all of Oahu to live is an area called Port Lock. So if you're coming down Kalanianiole Highway, it's going to be to the right-hand side if you're coming from town. And it is that little inlet there that overlooks Maunalua Bay. And one of the reasons it's considered just one of the toniest places to live is because you've got these awesome, unobstructed, fabulous views of the ocean. You can see all the way down to Honolulu, all the way around the bay, and you have beautiful sunsets. So you've got, that whole area there. You have the homes that are like on Hanapepe Drive. Then you've got the Koko Kai and Luna Kai areas too. Plus you've got the Triangle area, which is off the water near the elementary school. So you have that whole area, very private, one way in, one way out, and just a lot of beautiful, pretty expensive homes.
Yeah. When I think about just that area, and then maybe even a little bit past it, I think of Chinaman's Hat and Speeding Caves and just those kind of being, just those go-to lookout points, right? That people gotta catch the sunset.
Hanauma Bay is right around the corner.
Hanauma Bay is right there too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot of people really like Hawaii Kai because not only is it a nicer area to live on the island, your neighbor isn't going to be having 15 cars with 10 dogs running around. Okay, it's not that kind of neighborhood, all right? It is a nicer neighborhood. It is relatively isolated, but still close to Honolulu. And, if you didn't want to leave Hawaii Kai and you were there for, say, the whole weekend, there's a Costco, there's a Foodland, there are a lot of good restaurants out there. I believe that beer company that you really like.
Kona Brewing Company,
right? They're right there. There's Roy's, there's Mala sandwiches, there's Island Beer Works, and, so many other places to go in Hawaii Kai. Theaters, you never have to leave the area.
Yeah, when I just think about just the square footage on the average property in Hawaii Kai, maybe mostly regarding the single family residence. I just feel like there's a lot more breathing room and elbow room compared to a lot of other neighborhoods in Hawaii Kai. But can you just share a little bit about?
Well, there actually is. There actually is. So of course you've got Port Lock, which is a beautiful area, and if you live there, you're going to pay about between 2.8 to 3.5 million. But another really nice area is up on Napali Haveo. So if you're looking with my back to the ocean, two mountains, the right mountain You go up Kamehame Ridge, and at the top you pass two pillars, and you're going to hit Na Pali Hawaiian. And the lot sizes there, especially for Oahu, are pretty good. 10,000 plus. Some of the lots are as big as 16,000 or more. And the really cool thing about Na Pali Hawaiian is that there are no ridges on this side of the mountain, so you can see all the way out to Molokai.
Wow.
Beautiful, beautiful views.
Yeah.
You remember you're in paradise. That's
for sure. When you're up there and being able to see, just the pristine oceans and just like you said, on a clear day, you can see all the way out to Molokai, right? And so, when it comes to just lifestyle and activities, I think of, just the Costco, the Safeway. I mean, you have the marina and Koko Marina as well, right? But what are some of the, if you can kind of go into a little bit more depth of... Well,
so I used to actually live in Hawaii Kai. I lived up on Mariners Ridge. And, most of the lot sizes are going to be a minimum of 5,000 square feet. Okay. And then, you've got all the townhouses and you've got the condos. But you can, so I actually like to go paddleboarding. Like to do that in the marina. I have actually fallen into the marina, and it's not that deep. You can go kayaking. A lot of people like to go windsurfing or fish. They like to go fishing, out on Maunalua Bay. A lot of surfers out that way too. So you've got a lot of water sports, a lot of outdoor activities. A lot of people climb Koko Head regularly. I just climbed the Hanauma Bay Ridge Trail, right over Hanauma Bay. Also, just a lot of activities. All of the shops and restaurants are right there. The lot sizes are bigger. There's a parade at Christmas time on the marina too, which is really cool. If you can get somebody to invite you to their house, if they live on the marina, that's a really cool thing. So, overall, you've got everything in one place.
Yeah, a lot of people growing up over here in Hawaii, when they hear of Hawaii Kai, there could just be this kind of thought that they have in their head thinking, like Hawaii Kai, that's one of those places that is just so expensive to live, right? And so you actually having lived there for a while, like, are you able to kind of counter that or what's
Well, this is what I'm going to say to that. You know what? We live on an island. Okay, when we bought our house up on Mariners Ridge, it was $500,000. Okay, back in the dark ages, $500,000, okay? And I remember thinking, oh my God, that is so expensive. I didn't even want to get out of the car because I just thought it was so expensive. And that house is now worth about $1.3 million, okay? So, my thought always is this. Prices are not going to come down. We are on an island, limited land. Lava isn't going to grow the island any larger. You got to get into the game. And keeping that in mind, I mean, the first place that you buy doesn't have to be your dream home. It may be a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom condo. For sure, lots available, $800,000 and under in Hawaii Kai. There is inventory at that price range. Get in. It's a really great neighborhood. The schools are really good too. So if you have kids or, people that have children, all the way from preschool to high school, the schools are of a higher caliber in that area. So that is something to think about too. You don't have to drive to a private school and pay, really high tuition. That's another good thing. Shops, restaurants, transportation, all of it is right there. And, just keep in mind, again, buy something because, hey, everything appreciates and rental income is really awesome there too.
Yeah, I mean, Hawaii has proven over just year after year that, if you're able to just park your money into, everybody needs a home, right? Whether it's a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, doesn't need to be your dream home, but letting appreciation kind of do its thing, right? And over the years, right, maybe it's a 5 to 10 to 15-year time span, being able to just see the fruits of your investment really kind of, give us results. Right?
So, I have an uncle and an aunt that live in Koko Head Terrace. And when they first bought their house, so they were, a young couple, and they bought back in the 70s when it was leasehold.
Right.
Okay, it was leasehold because Kamehameha schools owned the land. And I remember everybody was, oh, you're going to live way out there? That's so far, Hawaii Kai. And my uncle, I remember him telling me, our house is going to be worth $1 million. And, I just kind of looked at him and I didn't say anything because I thought, are you kidding? This Koko Head Terrace. We are past $1 million at this point. Wow. We are past $1 million. And of course, over the years, they bought the fee. And so, they own the house outright now. And it is so nice because they have taken out equity loans. They go to Vegas 4 or 5 times a year. You know, I mean, they have a nice home in a nice neighborhood with good neighbors. That's the other thing about Hawaii Kai. You know, a lot of people might think it's like too fancy, but you know, keep this in mind. You are around people that want to be there. They take care of their homes, which is a good thing.
Right,
okay, they take care of their homes, so values are maintained, and it's a nice area overall. As I had said earlier, you're not going to have, you know, 10 dogs running around your neighbor's house with, you know, 10 rusted out parked cars.
Yeah.
It is not that kind of place, and that is a good thing.
Yeah, you mentioned Henry Kaiser as being kind of like the mastermind behind the building of this community, and there being Kaiser High School, right? So when it comes to just the different schooling options that are available in Hawaii Kai, can you speak a little bit about, what does that have to offer?
Well, the schools, again, are, you know, really, really good. You've got really good preschools. There are a number of them. My daughter went to a few of the schools in the area. Also, the elementary schools, too, Koko and Hahaioni. And then middle school, you've got New Valley. And then you've got Kaiser High School, which is also a really good, I think it's considered a blue ribbon IB school.
Yeah, wow.
Okay, so, you know, higher caliber, again, not having to pay the $28,000, you know, $30,000 for private schools.
Great quality education, I'm sure.
Really, really good education. Henry Kaiser, you know, really had the vision. A bit of trivia, back in the late 50s, we're talking swampland. Okay, Hawaii Kai was all wetlands, right? There was nothing there. He took that 521-acre parcel and brokered a deal with Kamehameha Schools and built, as I said, the master community of Hawaii Kai. He had a beautiful home on the water in Portlock. He ended up, you know, selling it. They parceled it out into 3 properties. Genshiro Kawamoto, billionaire, eccentric billionaire, Japanese billionaire man. He ended up buying it for, at the time, a record price of $42 million. Wow. And then Kamehameha Schools went over and said, hey, you want to buy the land? It's going to cost you $26 million. And so he gave them the keys, essentially walking away from the parcel. And then it was sold, you know, to other people in 3 different pieces. But beautiful area. He saw the foresight to develop it, and it has turned into one of the most desirable, coveted areas to live on all of Oahu.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Hawaii Kai has it all, right? It has, you know, like you mentioned, you know, whether you want to go more on the ocean side versus more inland, up on the ridge, even along the marina, there's just something for everybody. And so if somebody's looking, whether it's to get into a condo or whether it's single family residence, what are the different, maybe the median house prices, or like what's kind of a ballpark figure to expect to just get into something?
Well, you know, nowadays the single family homes, really even in Ewa, are about $1 million. Okay, and so, you know, in Hawaii Kai you're looking at about that much, but there are a lot of townhomes on the water.
Sure. And
a lot of condos that you can get to with views of the water, all under $1 million. Colony at the Peninsula, one of my favorite subdivisions created by Stanford Carr. It is a planned community, gated community, and you've got space. Yeah. So, you know, unlike town, you're going to get like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2 parking, high ceilings. You're going to get larger square footage for under $1 million. Wow. Much more than you could get, say, in town, you know, in some of the newer neighborhoods. And so I think it is a definite place to look into. And, you know, people come to Hawaii for what reason? They want to be on the water. Yes. They want to go hiking. They want to have views of the ocean. They want to be able to walk out at night and feel safe. And Hawaii Kai meets all of that criteria.
Yeah, I mean, Hawaii Kai to me seems like one of those great options if you want to kind of escape the busyness of town, right? But being able to just have a, you know, a little bit of commute, right? Like how far would you say it is from downtown for the daily commuter?
25 minutes.
25 minutes.
You know, and you know the nice thing, well, the way I drive, 25 minutes. Okay, but you know, the nice thing about living on the east side is that you never get the sun in your face coming and going.
Yeah,
so in the morning when you go to work, the sun is behind you. Yeah. And when you come home, the sun is behind you. Yeah. Unlike, you know, if you live on the west side. So I always thought that was a cool thing, you know. And the commute is just, it just moves so much faster.
Yeah. That's so awesome. Thank you, Sherrie, for just your time, being able to share your expertise and all the knowledge that you have. I mean, we could talk more and more and more, right?
Yeah, we can.
But if you guys are interested in learning more about the wonderful town of Hawaii Kai, you can contact Sherrie, and she can give you all the more, not only a perspective, but a local, somebody that's actually lived there, and somebody that actually vouches for it, saying, hey, this is one of
And grew up in Hawaii.
Grew up, right? So,
Right.
Hawaii Kai girl right here. And so thank you guys for just joining us on Real Talk, and we will see you guys next time.
Aloha!
Mahalo everybody for tuning in to this episode of Real Talk. Hungry for more? Well, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get updated for our next episode of Real Talk. We'll see you guys next time.